We are Diane and Guillermo. We retired early in 2018 to pursue the dream of financial independence. We travel all over the world in search of our little paradise to call our forever home. This time we are scouting Valencia, Spain, known for its beautiful beaches, its futuristic landmarks, and wonderful weather all year round. We visited the beautiful animal habitats at the biopark, the magnificent Valencia Cathedral and its historic relics. We researched the city, cost of living, safety, things to do, and much more. Let us show you what Valencia has to offer and why it is preferred by many expats for an excellent quality of life. Valencia is the third largest city in Spain. It's located on the southeastern coast where the Turia River meets the Mediterranean Sea. They speak two official languages, Valencian and Spanish, although English was spoken by many. Let's look at our dream home requirements list and begin to explore this gorgeous European gem. Walkability,
short walks to markets and shops.
average weather,
Nothing lower than 65 degrees and no hotter than 80.
cost of living,
Has to be low and affordable.
transportation,
Subway, bus, Uber, bike lanes. No more than 45 minutes away from an international airport.
distance to the beach,
Ideally, less than 2-hour drive.
home prices,
Under $200,000 to buy or less than $1,000 a month to rent.
safety and security,
We want to be able to walk at night, good police presence,
things to do,
outdoor activities, music, art scene,
good medical care.
close to major hospital and low insurance premiums.
We added a more detailed breakdown in the video's description below.
This time we flew into Valencia from Lisbon, Portugal, via TAP Air Portugal Airlines. There's not much to say about a propeller plane, only hope to make it to the ground safely. We hailed a taxi to get to our Airbnb. The distance from the airport to the city center was 9 miles, and it took the driver 25 minutes with some traffic. There are no direct flights to Washington, D.C., our hometown, but there are cheap European fares.
The Airbnb was a super cute apartment, clean, well-stocked, and totally central for easy access to multiple bus stops and the metro. We were very close to local markets and plenty of restaurants. The views were nice also.
Bright and early, we commence our scouting adventure of this easily overlooked city that's making waves in the expat community, not only in real estate prices, but in year-round good weather and low cost of living. We purposely traveled to Valencia at the end of January because it is supposed to be the coldest time of the year. The temperature was pleasant at around 70 degrees. We didn't need a light jacket or scarf to keep warm at night, but overall it was not so cold. Uber doesn't operate in Valencia due to legislation pushed by the taxi drivers requiring a 15-minute interval between passenger request and pickup, making it impossible for Uber to deliver its services as intended. To us, Valencia's bus service was the way to move around the city. They were clean, modern, and they were constantly running on time. Drivers were not shy to use their horns, keeping traffic moving. Valencia is a bike-friendly city, perfect to pedal around thanks to its size, flatness, and its historic center where vehicles are not allowed to exceed 30 kilometers per hour.
Move It is a super useful free app that gives you step-by-step directions to get to your destinations, whether by metro, bus, car, bike, or walk.
Easy transport? Check.
Valencia stands on the banks of the Turia River, a river notorious for its floods. A division project was completed in 1969, dividing the river in two at the western city limits and diverting it to the south. The old course has been turned into a central green space for the city, a 5.5-mile long cultural attraction known as the Garden of the Turia. Turia Garden is the perfect place for runners, cyclists, families, and nature enthusiasts. Crossed by 18 bridges full of history, it allows cyclists and pedestrians to traverse much of the city without the use of roads.
So let's start on the east side of the park, where Valencia's modern crown jewel is located, the City of Arts and Sciences, a state-of-the-art complex structures that include
Hey, we're going to spend the afternoon at the biopark today. It is based on trying to have the animals in their natural habitat without cages. So a lot of the barriers are actually waterfalls, huge log, and it feels like you're immersed in the area with the animals. So we're excited to see what it's all about. This is a 100,000 square meter animal park that recreates specially designed habitats, ensuring the care and comfort of all of the animals. Divided into 4 main areas.
It took us most of the day to cover this enormous park. We truly felt immersed in the experience. The animals seemed happy and well cared for. We have a better understanding of the importance of natural ecosystems and how to protect. We absolutely recommend a visit. It is a lot less crowded on weekdays than weekends.
We like to cook most of our meals while we travel, so fresh foods and healthy supermarkets are always our priority, and Valencia does not disappoint. The Mercat Central is one of the largest in Europe. And it covers more than 8,000 square meters. With a predominant Valencian Art Nouveau style, you'll find over 1,200 vendor stalls selling fresh food items, souvenir shops, and restaurants. You will love what you see, the colors, the different aromas, a vast variety of fresh foods. It is full of Mediterranean life. This is a popular location for tourists and locals alike, and easy access to since it is in the heart of Valencia.
One of our favorite parts of our travels is trying the local food and drinks. Valencia is the birthplace of the paella, a rice-based dish originated near Lake Albufera in Valencia. The name comes from the recipient used for cooking it, the paellera. There are many versions of this famous recipe, but the authentic one is the paella valenciana. There are also many tapas in Valencia, and they serve it at pretty much every bar. One of our favorite was Casa Montaña, near the promenade. Their bacalao was so good. We also found out Valencia is home to a large Bolivian community. There are several Bolivian restaurants in the city, and we ate at Patuju. They rocked the salpancho and the salteñas. It brought back many memories from my childhood when I lived in La Paz, Bolivia.
Since we never pass up the opportunity to drink wine, we took a tour to the wine region of Utiel Requena. Only an hour away from the city, this wine region has become more known for its excellent wines and ancient caves that run underneath the whole town. We visited 2 wineries with completely different styles, yet equally delicious wines. Bodegas Murviedro, one of the largest wineries in the region and hidden underground. The tour of this historic winery includes a visit to some of the ancient caves where the elaboration process is explained up close as it was made in the past. The other winery, Vera de Estenas, was a more quaint experience. Family owned and crafting Bobal wines since 1945. We had a wonderful time on this tour. We met fellow travelers that made this experience even more fun. The next day, we took the good old touristy hop-on, hop-off bus.
We're gonna do just a quick drive-by through the city of this one. Tomorrow we're gonna switch to the other, and let's see what Valencia is about from a double-decker bus.
Really got a good idea of Valencia's size, and it is big, yet easy to move around, whether you choose public transportation, bike, or walking. We had a lovely day just sightseeing and admiring the city. Valencia is beautiful, and I could see us living here.
One of the main stops that we were excited for was the popular Plaza Reina, located in the neighborhood of El Carmen, one of the most bustling and crowded squares in Valencia, where you can find craft shops, century-old cafes, and the magnificent Valencia Cathedral. Founded in the 13th century on the site of an Arab mosque, the cathedral exhibits a mix of Baroque, Gothic, and Romanesque architectural styles.
The most celebrated treasure in the Valencia Cathedral is a chalice known as the Santo Cáliz, which is said to be the famous Holy Grail used by Jesus in the Last Supper. But the Vatican has not officially agreed to this. Whether or not it is so, it is definitely an intriguing artifact. This church, with its interior luxury, splendid paintings, and holy relics, should not be missed.
I was lucky to witness a small photo shoot happening inside the Holy Grail Chapel. Valencian falleras. Girls dress in the local traditional dresses and usually worn at main festivals and other special events in Valencia, like the Fallas celebrations, a festivity that combines tradition, satire, and art.
If you enjoy both city life and beach fun like us, then Valencia has the best of both worlds. It boasts 8 beaches spread along 13 miles. The nearest beach to us was Port Sa Playa, located only 4.5 miles away and easily accessible by tram or bus, and only 3 miles from the popular Playa Malvarosa. So far, it is the closest urban beach in all of our travels, and the furthest is 9 miles away from the city center. The beaches are wide open, with golden sand and many restaurants along the way for a superb meal and a glass of sangria. The water was cold and the beach nearly empty during our off-season visit. May and June are the better months when the weather is warmer and the crowds are less.
We had so much fun in a matter of a few days, but let's get serious about some of our main requirements and see if we could actually live in Valencia. According to Numbeo.com, Valencia isn't as cheap as it used to be. Cost of living in the form of restaurant and grocery prices is still much lower than our hometown in the US. The ease of life, the fact that people work to live rather than defining themselves by their jobs, and the laid-back atmosphere is what we're looking for. The healthcare system in Spain is ranked among the best in the world. If you work or are self-employed in Spain, then you can access the public healthcare, the same as a Spanish national. The country has a universal system. Majority of Spaniards and expats use the public Spanish national health system. But not every medical expense is covered. Ambulances, dentists, and pharmacy costs are additional out-of-pocket expenses. Private insurance options for those who want to expand their coverage is also available. Violence is extremely rare in Valencia. Besides the usual petty crime, locals say it's a very safe city. Surprisingly so for its size. We never felt unsafe, the streets were well lit at night, and we never ran into any sketchy areas. We always exercise good common sense, good judgment, and we listen to our gut instincts. Valencia doesn't have any extremely dangerous areas. Local realtors advise us of problem areas dealing with squatters, drug trafficking, prostitution, and abandoned buildings.
One of our biggest surprises was the low prices in real estate properties. Whether we choose to rent or buy, there are a number of good options to live either in the city or even outside Valencia. Prices on both scenarios fit our budget. City living is much cheaper than Madrid and Barcelona, where property costs more than double. Rent prices are getting higher as more and more people move to the area, but you can still expect for rents to be a fraction of the prices in the US. A couple of the neighborhoods we looked at in the city were Ruzafa, very popular with expats, and it has a bohemian feel with lots of bars, restaurants, and shops. The locals are friendly, and there is a relaxed atmosphere.
El Carmen is in the city center. The old town area, decorated with cobbled streets and cute balconies, make this a very busy neighborhood full of tourists. Almost everyone in El Carmen speaks English, and there is a good number of younger people providing the lively vibe.
Teeny tiny croissant. Benny Maclet, mentioned to us by a waitress we met in Scotland, is popular with students and expats and one of the most charming and genuine neighborhoods in Valencia. You get that small town feel with the beach 5 minutes away via tram.
Lots of expats choose to live a small way out of town. Cheaper rent and excellent transport links help immeasurably. What draws the most attention to expats is the ability to jump on the metro and be at the beach in 20 minutes. We are quarantined back in Guadalajara now for 2 months. We have a new member in our family, and his name is Buddy. We found him on the street the day after our return home from vacation in Cabo San Lucas, day one of the start of our quarantine. We hope Buddy will like to travel with us.
So back to our summary. Valencia is the first city to meet all 10 of our dream home requirements, the best so far, and we're very excited about it. You can walk everywhere in Valencia with no hills and perpetual sun. You'll find yourself doing this more than you think.
Avid cyclists will also delight in knowing that Valencia is a bike-friendly city. The expat community in Valencia has grown greatly in recent years, with an influx of people arriving from Bolivia, Romania, Italy, Colombia, and Morocco.
Life seems easier there and less stressful. Valencia is a collection of sights and feelings rather than just one highlight or activity. The people, the energy, the diverse architecture, the street art, the parks, the wide beaches, the lively nightlife, and the random spontaneous experiences you can get caught up in without even planning for them.
TripAdvisor has over 3,600 restaurants and 286 activities in Valencia. That is quite a lot, and we like it a lot. With the great public transportation, we wouldn't need a car and would have easier and cheaper ways to travel around Europe.
Our only real concerns are how hot and humid locals mention it is in the summertime. And we'll be back to be the judge for ourselves. And it's not a capital city, so there won't be as many direct flights while we're traveling. We're super excited for this trip, and Valencia has taken a top spot for consideration for our forever home. We really liked Valencia and could see ourselves living there.
We can't wait to go back during the summer next year, hopefully. Stay tuned for more videos. Seeking Paradise in Lisbon, Portugal is next. Thank you for watching and stay safe.
Please like and subscribe so you don't miss our next one.